Good morning, everyone. It's Valerie, otherwise known as Chick Picker.
Chick Picker.
How's everybody doing?
All
Hope,
right.
hope everybody's having a good morning. It's a Monday, which means absolutely nothing,
That's right.
but that's okay because we're here, we're above ground, we're doing good. So it's going to be a great week for sales. It's going to be a great day for sales. So get your listing done.
Todd, you're not being very what do you call it? Secretive today. I just saw your whole face in your head.
What?
Yeah. When you went over to the closet.
Oh,
Oh,
well. By God. I might have
Just
to.
saying. Just saying.
sounds like
Might have to do something about that.
somebody's shipping today.
Yeah,
You doing some shipping?
I am wrapping cats.
Wrapping cats, huh?
Hmm.
Cute cat wrapper, you.
Oh my goodness. Craziness.
I
Morning,
know
Hank.
Hank thought too. Hank seen it too.
It was Hank seen what? The Walking Dead?
No, Todd's whole body.
Oh, okay. Hey, Bridget. Good morning.
Hi, Bridget.
Aw, Bridget called Todd a handsome guy. He's a wild and crazy guy. Oh my goodness. So who all seen The Walking Dead last night? I
I
did.
did. I did too.
I was pretty impressed by it. But I won't spoil it for anybody. So don't worry.
I thought it was good to move the story along.
Yeah. Yeah. It was for me, this part of the season was very slow.
Mhm.
It was like building, like there wasn't a whole lot of stuff going on.
Yeah,
So they needed something. So
yeah,
but,
desperately.
but,
Yeah.
but that's all I'm going to say about that. So everybody's sales doing good.
I have 2 going out today for eBay and 2 for Poshmark.
Good.
So yeah, I mean, but I think it's better than last week. And probably because I listed so much yesterday's.
Yeah. Did you get a
New
lot
fresh
listed
stuff.
yesterday?
Not a terrible lot, but like let's see. Probably about between 15 and 20
Uh-huh. Good.
altogether. Yeah,
Very good.
that's usually that's more than I usually do. So I think eBay was like, okay, we'll give her some sales.
That's good.
15.
Yeah,
Somebody
15.
somebody stole Sally's mink.
Oh yeah, somebody stole it for, yeah, they stole it for $100.
They stole her mink stole.
Yep,
Is that what you listed it for?
$100. Yeah,
That's good.
Yeah.
They paid already?
Yep.
That's good. You know, every time
Yeah,
I
I
make a
listed it.
good sale and I tell you guys about it, they never freaking pay.
Yeah.
Jinx myself all the time.
Yeah, I make it a point to not say that I actually sold something unless it's paid for.
Yeah.
Hi,
Morning,
Julie.
Hi, Julie.
Julie. Blackbird.
I tried to call the doctor's office. They're too busy. They didn't answer the phone. So I was like, well, I guess I'll find out I ain't coming when I don't show up.
Well, you can't do that because they mark you as a no-show.
Well, they didn't answer.
Well, you got to keep calling.
Well, it's too late now anyways. My appointment was supposed to start in a few minutes.
Oh,
I tried calling before. They're like, well, nobody's here, so you'll have to call back after 8. Well,
Hmm.
so
Yeah,
Monday
yeah,
morning,
Bridget.
8 o'clock, everybody's going to be busy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Bridget. I listed it yesterday and I sold it last night for $100, and that does pay for the whole auction. Yeah.
very good.
So
Very, very good.
that's what I was hoping for.
Yeah.
I was talking to an old guy outside the auction, and he was like, "Yeah, you got that mink for 25?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "Man, that was a good still." And he got some good things too, like he got like a stained glass. It was like a stained glass window that you could hang as like kind of like by a sign, or just for decoration or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
It was really pretty, and he got it for like $15.
Hmm.
And it was a good size window, but
Mhm.
I
Brandon
didn't
got
want to.
it?
Huh?
Did you say Brandon got it?
No.
Oh,
This old guy that I was talking to.
oh sorry.
And but he was the one who was telling me. He said there's some things in there that are from last week. He says
Yeah.
they sold them last week and now they're for sale again.
Good people bring stuff back.
I said, yeah. I said maybe somebody couldn't pay for something or something like that, because I know that those first aid kits that I showed you, Nikki.
Yeah.
Those were one of the items that had come back.
Well, that
And
happens a lot. That's why I tell you, if you see something at an auction, you'll probably see it again. It'll probably come back. Because what people do is they buy that stuff from the auction and then they bring it back and try to resell it to a different crowd.
that's so stupid.
Sell it for more.
Yeah, that makes no sense, really.
Yeah, a lot of people do that. Or like here, they'll buy from one auction and take it to another auctioneer. And see if they can get more.
Wow.
Yeah, happens a lot.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Me either.
So, huh?
I was
Hi, Mike.
I was at one auction on a Wednesday, and they had this whole table full of different stuff, and nobody wanted it. All of a sudden, they sold it for the whole table for $3. Take it all, and it was a lot of good stuff. But, anyways, Thursday night it was all at the other auction.
Wow.
Sold. Yeah.
Well, they ain't getting none of my stuff back.
And he made money on it because the other auctioneer that he brought it to, they put it all on the table and sold piece by piece, Well, the guy only paid $3 for everything. So if he brought it to the next auction and everybody bought everything for $1 a piece, he made money.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're like consigning or something?
Yeah, that's what auctioneers do. Even when you have an auction at the barn, that's people bringing stuff in there and selling it. He's just selling it for them.
Yeah.
Occasionally, that auctioneers have back stock, so that if they have a low auction where they don't have much stuff, they can bring some stuff out and put it up for auction too, so that they have enough stuff. But yeah, Normally, your auctions are people bringing stuff in.
Huh.
That's not the auctioneer.
Well,
Not the auctioneer stuff.
well, I mean, there was some things like all those bear carvings and stuff like that were made out of wood. There was a lot of stuff like that I thought, okay, that's definitely a consignment piece to where, and the guy told us, the auctioneer told us, that they had a guy that lived right in town, and he does this for a living and all this stuff, so they have to make a certain amount on it or whatever.
Yeah.
They have like a reserve.
Like I've told you before, I can buy food at the auction. Well, that's a guy down by Siren, Wisconsin, who brings up food from his store and sells it. That's all consignment. And then he has a meat guy that has a butcher shop, and he does it as a favor to the auctioneer, and he'll bring his meat and sell it there,
Yeah.
And then in the spring, there's a flower person who has a greenhouse that brings flowers and plants and stuff that you can buy.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, I hope it gets real good to where, I hope they don't try and keep it clean every time. I hope they bring some boxes in there, and I mean, I don't know if they will or not. I don't know if that's the kind of place for that,
Mm-hmm.
or if they're gonna, just try and keep everything nice and clean, and have everything, laid out perfectly, and
Well, like here, two auctions that I go to don't do box rows, and only one auction does.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, unless we're out on location, they do box rows, out in the location. But
yeah,
at their auction barn, they don't do box rows where one does. So some auctioneers just don't do them,
Yeah.
And then there's another auctioneer or two of the auctioneers won't go less than $3, but the other auctioneer, the one I go to on Thursday night, he'll go down to $1. He'll dollar everything to death. He don't care. As long as he's like, it's better getting $1 than nothing.
Yeah.
Well, you would think that's how a lot of people would do, just because, they do estates and stuff, and maybe they, they bring that extra from the estate to their company, and then, try and get rid of it at another auction or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Yeah, the auctioneers do that too. Mm-hmm. But most of the time, most of the stuff at the auction house is somebody brought it in.
Yeah.
Or like you'll say, well, this is an estate from such and such a place or whatever, but it was somebody that hired him to take the stuff, and he's just getting consignment. Most of the stuff in there, he's just getting consignment for.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's how auctions work. That's normal. Auctioneers are usually just consigners. Sometimes they'll go if it's a small estate. Sometimes some people have them just come and buy out the estate, and then they'll sell it. But most of the time, they're just consigners.
I'm thinking maybe that auctioneer, maybe he owned that that Kellogg's thing, and maybe that's why he did. Maybe he paid $100 for it. Maybe that's why he doesn't want to get rid of it for less than that.
Well, it could
It
very
could be,
well
or
be.
the person who brought it in said, "Hey, I don't want to take less than this for it."
Right.
Oh, true.
Right.
Yeah.
Morning,
Because when you
Maggie.
bring stuff in, you can put a reserve on stuff.
Yeah.
Morning, Liz. Good morning, Glenn.
Hi, Maggie.
Everybody's having a good day.
Hi, everybody.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a different thing. It's definitely something to learn.
Yeah, if the stuff came back, if the stuff was from the week before, chances are I would say a consigner or person brought it back in.
Yeah.
Mike says that happens all the time. He says you see them, the item is taken for real cheap, snap it up, and then bring it back to a better crowd. I do it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, that kind of makes sense because, I mean, if you thought, I mean, at first I thought that, like, the auctioneer, like, he had all the stuff,
Yeah.
that was all his stuff, but that's actually not. It makes sense that, he doesn't,
Yeah.
and he's just got a lot of people that want to sell stuff.
Yeah.
That
I mean,
makes more sense, actually. So,
auctioneers do have, like I said, auctioneers do have a lot of stuff. Like one time we went to this auction way out in BFE, and it was a real small auction. Now, usually my favorite auctioneer, if it's a real small auction, he'll usually just bring the stuff to the barn and sell it that way instead of on location. But for some reason, he did this one on location, and he literally had to bring stuff out of his back stock to fill in because there wasn't enough stuff to have a good auction. So I mean, auctioneers have stuff, and sometimes in auctions, their stuff will be in there.
yeah.
But no, more than likely, it's a person bringing it in though. But you figure if okay, let's say you go to an auction tonight, and let's say it was a real estate heavy auction, so there was a lot of like glassware, a lot of dishes, a lot of that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And you just buy up a bunch of box rolls or whatever, and you get them real cheap. And then 2 weeks from now, like next week will be like a tool sale, a tool heavy sale. So you're going to see a lot of guys at that one. And then the next week he's going to have an auction that's like another estate or some more girly stuff. So there's going to be some more women there. Then you would bring your stuff in then and try to resell it. Sometimes you get a better crowd, or like the beginning of the month, there's a ton of people at the auction because checks are coming out.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, there's some people that that will buy certain things for certain prices, or they'll bid up on stuff, but maybe they're like flea marketers or whatever. So you watch for the big flea markets, and you know that they're going to come when there's not such big flea market or whatever, and so they'll be there to buy it, whatever. There's always reasons to do it. And like I said, that one guy that bought that big table, I mean, it was full of tools. It was full of all kinds of stuff, hunting stuff, everything. I don't know why. I don't even know why I didn't take it. Oh, I was worried Gary was going to be mad at me. But he bought the whole entire table. I mean, it was packed full of stuff for $3. So I know damn well he made good money when he brought it to the other auction the next day and sold it by piece. Because most of us all frequent, the normal auction people frequent the same auctions.
Right.
So you'd think it wouldn't work, but it's all those people that don't go to all the same auctions. There's some people that just go to this one auction, or there's some people that just go to this one auction. And like that one auctioneer that was an asshole that I hated going to. There was for a long time because they called the health department on the other auction, my favorite auctioneer, and his sister, because they sell food. Well, she's all licensed and everything else, so it didn't work. And they've called on them for other things, and they've come and made a scene at their auction and everything. Just bad business people. They're just terrible people. Anyways, I didn't go to his for the longest time, probably over a year, just because the other auctioneer's my friend, and I felt like I was betraying him, going and giving that guy my business, So sometimes we don't all go to the same auctions either, they don't.
Yeah.
But now he's out of business, so it's better, but I don't have to worry about him anymore.
And Mike says when it's pouring down rain and freezing cold, you get stuff cheap too. Yeah. Bring it back when it's all sunny and warm. There you go.
Yep.
So then if you bought a whole box for $3 and then you brought it back for the auctioneer to sell like on a consignment, and you
Mhm.
get like what 10% or something.
The auctioneer gets whatever he charges.
Oh,
The auctioneer usually gets 10 or 20%, whatever they charge.
and then he just sells everything out of the box one by one.
Or they'll bundle things if they can't sell it singly.
Yeah.
They start bundling things and trying to make it more enticing. You know.
Yeah. Hey there, Glenn. What'd you drop to 8th place in, Todd?
Oh, the college basketball bracket
Oh,
that John and Lonnie are doing.
I keep forgetting
He
about
knows
that
what I'm
every year.
talking about.
yeah.
I wanted to join that, but I keep forgetting about it.
The March Madness.
Yeah.
The bracket.
I seen a thing on my Facebook the other day that I shared like 3 or 4 years ago, and it says your March Madness, and it has basketball players going like this to the net, and
Uh-huh.
then it says my March Madness, and it has walkers.
Cool. That's cool.
Hey, Junk Girl. Good morning.
Hi, Junko.
I don't, girl.
Young girl.
Yeah, it was I mean, it was an okay weekend for sales, but it wasn't fabulous.
Yeah.
I think I sold 6 on Posh. So,
That's good.
and 4 on eBay, and I can't find a shirt.
But you're gonna find it.
It's the mystery. It's the Scooby Doo mystery of the missing the
What shirt
possessed
is it?
shirt. It's called Breaking Loose.
Oh God.
Is the name of it. Breaking Loose.
Done broke loose right out of your
I know. I know. I swear I have lost and found this shirt. Probably this. I think this is like the 3rd time. And I said, if I have to cancel this order and I find that shirt, I am throwing it in the trash can. And I'm
I don't blame you.
documenting it because it is. Yeah, I'm tired of it. Huh?
That
Tired of the
shirt is
damn
going
thing.
to single-handedly take down your business.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
You all right, Sally?
Yeah, I choked on my coffee. No, but I'm right.
Your business was taken down by Scooby Doo.
Yeah. No.
Well, they're always investigating ghosts and mysteries, so maybe it is haunted.
Maybe.
Breaking loose.
Yeah, it's kind of it's like a sheer, it's a long sheer blouse. And so I was trying to think, just trying to think it out and, try to remember what I was thinking when the last time I put it away.
Mm-hmm.
Did I put it in another place? Did I, put it in a place where I thought that I would be able to find it easier? I don't know. So
Oh God.
I don't know. So
You know what's going to happen when you find it? There's going to be a mouse jump out of it at you.
don't say
nice,
that.
Todd.
Don't say that. Oh my gosh.
Now I got you thinking that.
Yeah.
When you
Yeah.
do find it, you're going to be
Thanks.
checking.
Yeah.
Now you're gonna be scared to find it.
I don't know. And it's got So it's like sheer, but it's got like a snake pattern.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. So, yeah.
Yeah.
So after the show, I'll go and take a look and see if I can find it. Yeah, it has to be shipped out today sometime. So I'll give it a little bit of energy this morning and then um, go do some running around and then see what happens. Thanks, Karen.
Useful.
Maggie, I sold the mink fur for $100. So she was wondering what I sold. She's like, I missed it.
Yep. Good job. So
The other day, I made the mistake of telling Teresa that she never tells me good job because, and I was just messing with her because, like, I told her, oh, this kind of coat came in the other day, and so I moved everything over, you know, and put that in its spot or whatever so we could sell it. She's like, oh, good job. And then, like, it was like a little bit later, I went back up there and I'm like, why'd you tell me good job? You don't have to tell me good job. And I'm like, you never tell me good job. And so the next 2 hours, she told me good job for everything. Great job, Sally. Good job, Sally. You know, even if it was a bad thing. Like, oh, I just broke this. Great job, Sally. Like, oh my God, I will never say anything again.
oh my gosh. You know, that's what
Yeah,
happens though. I mean, you know,
yeah,
when you're working with people and I mean, yeah, you know, definitely you can feel a little taken advantage of, you know,
Yeah.
yeah,
because you don't get the recognition. You don't get, you know, when you do something that's a good job, you know, you don't
yeah,
hear that.
yeah.
So,
Well, she was really pleased with me on Friday, or yeah, Friday when I left because I was at the top
uh-huh.
of our store for sales, and then I was like second regional and third in division, I think. So
Sweet.
she was like super happy with me and my sales and stuff. So, but you know, she just did that to be a brat, and she was just
Oh
joking.
yeah.
But that's just how we are.
That's good.
But yeah,
Maggie Doodle says, is Facebook Marketplace a good place to sell an old computer? If I were to get a new one, could I sell this one on there?
I would think so.
Or is it more trouble than what it's worth? I think you could sell it on there. But
Yeah,
Liz says, did you check solds on eBay?
No. You'd probably get more money for it on eBay.
Yeah, but you'd have a little. It's a little less pain in the ass possibly if you sold it on Facebook Marketplace.
especially shipping wise.
Shipping, returns. You know, I mean, once they do that, that's a done deal on Facebook Marketplace. You know,
Hmm.
so
I would start mine out. Make more money on it.
Liz says most people remove the hard drive. I just bought a MacBook Pro used on eBay.
Yeah, I always
Yeah.
part mine out.
I'd look at both ways and see what happens. You know, see what you think. But I would think you should be able to sell that fine on Facebook Marketplace, and you don't have the fees.
Yeah.
So
Good job, Sherry.
What'd Sherry do?
She quit her job and she's back to full time eBay.
I thought she quit her job a long time ago.
She
That's what I
did.
thought.
And then she got
Yeah.
another job.
Oh, did
Oh,
she?
did she?
Yeah. And
Oh,
so she quit her job again, and now she's back to full-time eBay again. So
Congratulations.
that's
good
her life.
job.
That's her life in a nutshell.
Well, you weren't at that job very long because it was just a couple months ago you quit your other job.
Right.
Yeah.
I was wondering why you haven't been around.
I know.
Wow,
But
Maggie,
that's great.
she spent $500 to replace that whole motherboard.
Ooh,
Yeah, you should definitely say that in the listing.
yeah.
That it has a brand new motherboard on it.
Ugh. Yeah. I would definitely look into, just kind of see what they're getting for those items on eBay, and then kind of use that as your guide for listing on Facebook Marketplace.
Mm-hmm. You're gonna have to probably go down a little bit in price on Facebook Marketplace because it's local, but it'd be a good place to start.
Yeah.
And see me, I don't worry about shipping stuff, so I would list it on eBay myself, but it depends. I list big heavy stuff anyway, so
Well, for me, it's really not. I'm not worried about the shipping part of it. I'm more concerned with
returns and stuff.
returns
Yeah.
and
Taking
issues
stuff
with the
off.
computer that you know wasn't noticed or I didn't know anything about. And
Yeah.
I'm sending it to some computer guru, and he's going to go through it with a fine tooth comb and find all these issues, and
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you got a point. There's people replacing other parts with broken parts or
right.
sending it back. Yeah.
So
That's why I usually just part the things out, but
yeah,
not everybody wants to do that. Not
yeah,
everybody wants to spend their time doing that.
yeah,
Or know
Joanna.
how.
Right, Joanna. That's what she's talking about, possibly selling it on Facebook. Yeah,
Do it to it, Maggie.
get to
Well,
it.
I don't, Maggie, just for general use, I think it would be fine. She's afraid that, somebody's going to have problems with it or whatever. But, I'm thinking that you can, sell it and then they can repair it, just, you're basically, whenever you sell locally like that, you're basically selling the item and everything with it, as far as problems and all of that. So
Just make sure you put as is on there.
Yeah, you're getting what you're buying. That's the way it is.
And just be truthful to them,
Yeah,
These are the problems I've been finding with it. I don't know what's wrong. I'm not a computer guru. Tell them what you've been experiencing, and as long as you tell them the truth, you're not hiding anything from them. So you can sell
yeah,
it with a clear conscience. Because what's going to happen is a computer guru is going to buy it and put more stuff into it or fix it or reprogram it or whatever, and it's going to make it better, and then they're going to probably resell it, is what's going to
sure,
happen.
sure, absolutely. Liz says she was scrolling Facebook Marketplace while watching The Walking Dead last night. A big old lot of old trains popped up for
Oh,
$50.
oh,
She was the first to message and score.
oh, good.
oh,
Good
good
job,
job.
Liz.
You can find a lot of good stuff on Facebook Marketplace.
Is that True 72, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see that train collection that Craigslist Hunter bought?
Mm-mm.
No,
That was incredible.
I didn't see it. I have to go look.
It was his last video or
I
two.
think I've confused the hell out of YouTube. I don't know what to put on my feed anymore because I'm subscribed to so many different people and so many different subjects. It has no clue what the hell to put up anymore.
Yeah, she said, Liz said
Mike.
Pete got some really cool trains. That's awesome. Mike says just offer a no hassle, free returns for 2 years policy, Maggie. Happy customer there.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Don't do it. Yeah. There's a new video that Golden Finger Picker put out.
Mm-hmm.
I was listening to it this morning, but I was at the same time I was doing some shipping, so I didn't really get. It said something about that the post office was ripping us off, basically.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't watched that one yet.
Yeah.
So it's pretty. It sounded pretty interesting. I didn't get too much into it, but it sounds.
Well, now the post office can bill us on eBay for what we're shipping,
Oh,
and
Nice.
they're billing us. He had something that was a little toy or whatever, or little clothing for a toy or something, and he had it at like 5 ounces or what, shipped it at like 5 ounces or whatever, and or 8 ounce, whatever he said, and the post office came back saying that it was 14 ounces, so they charged him the difference.
I see.
It was just this little tiny thing. He's like, I know damn well it wasn't 14 ounces.
Yeah. Yeah, that's not right.
Yeah.
Karen says I watched it. They keep falsely billing him after the fact. Man.
So keep an eye on your.
That's one reason why I don't go to the post office if I can help it. If I can get my stuff out on my porch, and my regular mailman picks it up, my regular mailman knows us and he likes us and we like him. If I have to go to the post office, I have nothing but problems. Because there's a redheaded chick there that does not like me and I don't like her because she's full of attitude. So she'll do anything she possibly can to screw me over. So I either send Brandon or we don't go.
Yeah.
That would be just my luck if I had to go in there and deal with that lady. She'd probably nail me to the freaking ceiling.
Well, what was he? So he was saying, I do remember this. So he was saying that there was so he had shipped an item that was shipped in a regional A, and it was, so much of an amount that he was charged. And then, but he got rebilled or, an extra billing from the post office saying that it was a regional B and that he used a regional B box, but the label was for a regional A.
Oh.
And he said that's not true because I don't have regional B boxes. He said I don't use regional B boxes, so that I know that that's not true. So I don't know. I don't know. Because I mean, you know that they've got to have some kind of like quality control or something like with the post office. But yeah.
Yeah, Philip says it's nothing to do with going to the
Scan them.
branch.
If you bring them into the post office, they'll scan them and weigh them.
Yeah.
Now, I was told by the post office purse worker that they're just supposed to scan them and put in the input or whatever and let it go. They're not supposed to question anything when it's been printed online because they don't know anything about it, and
Yeah.
they're just supposed to let it go through no matter what.
Nitty Gritty Picker says it's not the local post office.
No, it's not. It's along the lines somewhere that's doing
That is true, Mike. Chad is always having weird, screwed up crap happen to him. This is true. This is true.
He's got the luck for making YouTube videos for sure.
Yeah.
Guess what freaking happened to me today?
Yeah.
I'm very thankful for my post office, for my postman. He comes by and picks up all my packages, scans them. Everything's on time with that. But and I can go to this local post office, or I can go to the one up the road, 5 miles, and they treat me. I really don't have any problems with the post office. I'm pretty.
Ours, we go to the back door, just roll it in.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Grief.
We do get billed.
That's crazy.
We do get what?
We do get adjustments.
Oh yeah, sometimes we have adjustments.
Well, once a week, but they're usually so small. It's like $2 or something.
Yeah, pretty minute.
Yeah.
Well, small enough that even if it isn't really accurate, I really don't care. I mean, it's not worth my time.
Right.
I do know, though, it is definitely against the rules. This is off topic a bit because that's not what this person did. But if you ever mail something priority, it has to be in a regular priority box. You cannot put regular priority postage on a A or B regional box or a flat rate box. You can't put something in a flat rate box, weigh it, and then try to put regular priority postage on it if it's cheaper. It has to go the flat rate or the regional rate if that's what type box it is. Even if you obscure it with a marker or whatever, that doesn't matter. It'll still get bounced.
Right.
We got in trouble for when they eliminated the C. We had some C boxes. It was a nice big size. So we would obliviate the regional C. And eventually our local post office is like, yeah, you can't send these in a regional C with regular priority.
Yeah. Yeah, for a while they were telling us we could, but then they're like, no, you can't do that.
It was just such a great size box because it was bigger than 12 by 12 by 8, Oh
my God, I love the C boxes. I miss those so bad.
And I went on the website. I went on the postal regulations. I mean, it took me a half an hour to find it, but I did find it in writing that they do have a regulation for that.
I know. I used to wonder about all these people that were sitting there saying, oh, well, just take this box and resize it and then just send it regular priority. And it's like, why don't you just put it in another box, Why do you got to It's like the Smart Post thing. It's like, why do you got to fight it? Why do you got to try to find your way around things? Just do what the rules say and just do it that way.
Yeah.
If you got to cut down a box or do whatever, why didn't you just go find a regular box and send it regular priority like you're supposed to? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's just, God.
It's like anything. Somebody's like, oh, that doesn't happen to me or whatever, but eventually it's going to happen to you. You know what I mean? It's like
eventually it's going to catch up to you or somebody else.
If you went on eBay right now and you went and sold, you probably find a whole bunch of the banned Pyrex coffee pots that slip through the cracks. But if I go try to list one, mine always would get caught. So I'm like, well, just don't do it,
Corningware.
Oh, Corningware. Sorry, is it Pyrex?
Yeah.
No, Corningware.
Oh, but you know what I'm
Corningware.
talking about, the illegal coffee pot. But if I go and sell it, I'll probably get caught on it. So
Yeah. Mike said he got spanked twice by eBay this weekend.
Ouch.
They took his items down: military vest and UPS uniforms.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, you can't sell uniforms in the military vest. They must have thought it was like a bulletproof black vest or bulletproof.
He says, I swear, no sense of humor.
Yeah.
No.
The Bell Saw key machine. I didn't think that was a thing you couldn't list, but you can't. Because I'm like, it's for making keys, but they don't want people making keys, that aren't key makers or whatever, and they'll take that sucker down. And if you go right now in the solds, you'll see people that slipped them through and got them through. So.
And here we'll talk about Chad again. Look at what happened to him with that flea medicine or whatever.
Yep.
He got suspended for something that he had already sold.
Mm-hmm.
And wrongfully suspended. It was not supposed to. He wasn't. When he actually called and talked to them, they were like, "Yeah, well, I can go." And they put it in the notes. They said, and they put the item back up for him. And then he still got spanked for it. I think that happened like 3 times to him, and he's like, "So what am I supposed to do? Sell it or not sell it?" And I noticed on one of his videos in the description, I think it was his postal video that he just put up, it says, if you want to buy some flea medicine cheaper or at a good price or something, email me at such and such.
Oh boy.
Oh, you got 2 people ask you about the Corningware coffee pot. I'll let Jim tell it because he's good at this one. He's researched this, so.
Yeah.
It's the Corningware coffee pot that has the metal band. It's a chrome metal band on the top of the coffee pot that isn't secured by anything. You can tell that it's glued on, that the coffee pot, the Corningware part could slip off. There are also Corningware coffee pots that you can see the band is wrapped around and then affixed to the narrow part of the coffee pot where it's wider on top and wider below where it could not come off. Those are the ones that are okay to sell. But it's the ones that just have chrome on the top where you can tell they took the Corningware and glued it to that metal band.
Because there was a recall, late 70s, early 80s?
Yeah, because what'll happen is the glue will fail, and when somebody's like pouring a hot thing of coffee, the Corningware carafe part will drop out of the handle, out of the metal handle, and shatter and hurt people and burn people. And it's kind of like a lawn jar. Lawn jar's only killed 4 people, but they banned them.
But anyway, it was a recall on that, but eBay still follows that recall.
Oh, yeah, but it's serious. It's a federal recall, and legally you're not even supposed to sell them at a garage sale. There is no exception for that, like a private sale. If you have them, they're supposed to be destroyed. So I collect them. I have a lawn jar collection and a Corningware coffee pot collection. Only the killer coffee pots.
I'm so blessed. I'm glad when you're dead, I'll have all these illegal coffee pots and lawn jars in your estate.
I like to collect obscure destructive devices. Yeah, I guess if you just Google recalled Corningware coffee pot, it'll come up all over the internet.
And they're the white ones with the blue flowers on it, ain't it?
Well, yeah.
Well, it can be the harvest one too with the cornucopia.
No, I have 4 different patterns of them, Big Nikki.
Oh, have you?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I always see the ones with the blue flowers.
Yeah.
No, it's got to be the one with that chrome top. The one that.
Yeah, and it also has, but it has the blue flowers too.
Yeah, it has the blue flowers, but it has that glued on top. It ain't like the teapot has that metal band that looks like a clamp band. That's okay. It's the one that has that glued on chrome and black lid top.
But they'll have the harvest pattern. They'll have the blue cornflower pattern. There's that French pattern. There's several different patterns.
French pattern?
Jesus, it's something.
You know a lot about Corningware coffee pots. You should do a show on it.
The killer coffee pot.
You should do a show on all the different patterns and everything. Good grief.
Valerie, that's not nice.
I should do a horror movie where the murder weapon is all Corningware coffee pot.
There you go.
She said I need one of those coffee pots or lawn chairs for my ex-husband.
Oh,
Send him some lawn darts too. Oh my gosh.
Make sure you play lawn darts while you're drinking out of your Corningware coffee pot.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Yep, put them all together. Oh my gosh.
Is that
Oh
Hickory Street?
man, off topic, and I won't say anything that happened. Don't worry, but man, that Walking Dead last night was really something. Hey,
Yeah,
It was good.
it was good.
yeah,
I was glad that there was something, because this was a really not a very interesting season, part of the season.
Yeah.
Well,
So-
next week I think is a mid-season finale or whatever. I think. Anyway,
It's
Yeah, I thought
it's
they were gonna-
it's
No,
the
it's
end
the
of the
season.
season.
I thought they were going to keep Norman Reedus on the show at least until the season finale, but you know how it goes.
So yeah. I was pretty impressed with and I'm hopeful for next the next episode, see what happens. But
Well, I saw the name of the show is called the episode. It was called The Calm Before.
Mm.
So I thought, oh, here we go, another boring episode where they're just gonna be
I
playing.
did see that they listened to Nikki because she's been saying this for years that now because the winter's coming. Now, if you looked at the previous or next
snow
week,
zombies.
they have like snow and winter storm and stuff like that. So
and that what's his name? Scott Gimble, whatever his name is. He's one of the producers.
Yeah.
He said for years he has been trying to get snow
oh yeah,
in the episodes, and he said finally he got snow in the episode. So
Mm.
he said it's going to be pretty interesting. So he kind of set it up, which was good.
yeah, but they're in Virginia. It's not like they get real snow. Hey, Nikki.
Yeah. Right. I know.
Yeah, not cold enough where it's going to freeze.
Yeah,
Oh,
they don't get like real snow and cold down there.
I
I
know.
see them walking. I'm like, oh yeah, you guys are a bunch of wibs. That ain't like real
Yeah.
Yeah,
winter
they got
or
like big
nothing.
scarves wrapped around
Are
their
they
heads.
in Virginia? Is that where they're at?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. Alexandra is supposed to be in Virginia.
Yeah.
Okay. That's quite a jaunt from Atlanta.
Yeah, I remember that was when they were
Uh-huh.
walking to get to Washington, D.C.
Yeah.
because Eugene had some kind of thing that he thought could make it stop or whatever.
That he lied about.
Yeah.
Yeah, but Alexandria is actually in a town in Georgia.
Yeah, the filming of it. Yeah.
The
They
subdivision.
went by way of Virginia because of that one black kid, Noah.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I forgot because his family was from up there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I forgot. Yeah, I forgot about
Yeah,
him.
he gets eaten at the grocery store.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Anissa said, I'll take a coffee pot and jarts bundle, please.
Oh, gosh.
I like to live dangerously.
Yeah. Well, what you got to do is you got to brew the lawn jarts in the killer coffee pot. So when that coffee pot falls apart, those lawn jarts just fall and kill people.
I called eBay over it with about my first years ago when this happened. The one we got banned. I said, "You got to be kidding me! This is a dangerous coffee pot." She's like, "Oh yeah, it's on a government website." I'm like, "All right. I mean, I'll pull it. It's no big deal. I'll check it out." Well, I checked it out, and darn if she ain't right. Yeah, there's a whole big, and I mean, it's a serious recall. They're like, these are dangerous. They need not to do not use them. The buyback is gone. I mean, the recall is long gone on them. But you're supposed to have them. You're supposed to put them out of service.
Huh.
Yeah, government does not want those coffee pots out there.
People keep trying to put them out of service, but us damn resellers keep trying to put them back in.
It's those thrift stores' fault. Those thrift stores are letting them come back out.
Oh my gosh. Crazy.
Instead of justice for Mr. Jiggles, let's have justice for Killer Coffee Pot.
Oh man. Oh yeah, we should do a YouTube channel and name it something with the Corningware Killer Coffee Pot or something. Good one.
Oh my God.
Killer Corningware.
The silent killer Corningware.
Yeah.
So in the meantime, Jim is collecting them for another day.
He tapes his remotes to him. It's so queer. Because he's like, I'm sick of losing the DirecTV remote. So he tapes it to the handle of the Killer Coffee Pot. She got this big freaking coffee pot remote.
And then he's still trying to like shove the whole coffee pot under the couch, but it doesn't work. It may look ugly and stupid, but I can always find it.
I bet Jim's kind of like me, a joy to be married to.
I have my moments.
It's tough being such a joy to be married to, I know.
True that.
I didn't know that the shape up shoes were.
I didn't know that either.
Nitty gritty picker says like last year I got a 3-day ban for new shape up shoes, but eBay has thousands listed on there.
Oh.
Black market.
Oh.
I have sold those before too.
I did not know that.
I wonder if it's a Vero.
Or were they legit? Or did I've never been banned, knock on wood. And I sold a Monster Energy hat. The first one I sold used, it was a legit Monster Energy hat. I had gotten a couple of them and I listed another one. I did not know that was a I couldn't tell it. That was a counterfeit Monster hat. And Monster watches their product real close on eBay, I guess. So they pulled that listing got pulled on me and I got sent a stern email on it. They didn't like shut my account down, but I did get sent a pretty stern email and then I knew like what to look for a monster hat that's not real. But anyway, so maybe shape ups are like that a little bit too or something.
Or maybe it's like Velcro. Maybe you're calling something else called another shoe and you're calling it shape ups, but it's not really actually shape ups.
Oh, there was a lawsuit for shape ups? I did not know that.
Oh.
Huh. I don't like those shoes. I know I personally don't like those shoes.
I don't even know what they are.
It's just like stupid like rocker soled tennis shoes and I don't like them.
I see them still being sold in the stores.
Huh. Class action lawsuit.
Mary said there was a Electric curling iron also that she got pulled.
Wow. Huh. Yeah, she said it was either that it didn't live up to its claims or people fell down, something like that.
Yeah, I always thought that looked like a good way to sprain your ankle. But anyway, yeah, they had to sell it for $40 million that they deceived customers for saying they would lose weight or strengthen and tone their butt off.
Huh. My butt's as flabby as ever. I'm suing.
Hey, now I wish I would have worn them because I mean, if I could gotten a couple $1,000 for having a flat ass, I mean that'd have been great.
My ass looks like a bag of cottage cheese.
We're glad you're back, Jim. We miss you.
Well, it's not so much the shoe, it's actually getting up off your ass and moving around is a big help.
Yeah.
Well, you do have Grandpa's flat ass, I'll tell you
That's
that.
because I work it right off.
Oh.
I got cowboy butt.
No, cowboys got nice asses. They ride horses.
Yeah, those pretend cowboys. The real cowboys that their wives make them work 24/7. I don't mean the ones with the underwear ads.
I think my pop the wrong way.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise you if somebody broke their ankle. Because I got weak ankles, and I always thought, I'm like, there's no way I'm wearing these shoes. It looked like a good way to sprain my ankle.
Huh.
Yeah, don't list that ivory on. There's an auctioneer that's up in our area that started doing YouTube videos. He did like a YouTube video on exposing what it was like when he was on Pawn Stars, and he got caught by Etsy. It wasn't ivory, but it was one of those fake ivory pieces that are made out of celluloid. And he got a whole big band off of Etsy for it because it kept triggering that they thought it was actually ivory.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that guy, he swears that Etsy is better than eBay. He said it works better for him than eBay. He's got like 2,000 listings over there.
Some people do have better luck with Etsy.
Yeah.
Look at Angie Martin. She does it. She makes a killing on Etsy.
Yeah, he sells a lot of very old antiques and stuff like that. And he's been doing some YouTube videos anyway. He was saying on the YouTube, he did the thing about his experience when he was on the TV show Pawn Stars. They picked him off of his listings on eBay, and they picked just a stupid item. I mean, it wasn't even like what I thought was a very interesting item.
Yeah.
But
it's a stupid iron.
Yeah, it's a clothes iron. It's one of those white gas clothes irons, from like turn this up 1910, 1920, something like that. That's what they picked off of his eBay store and flew him from Wisconsin all the way over to Las Vegas to make a deal with Chumley for this stupid iron. Anyway, that guy is an auctioneer that I sometimes go to his auctions. He's a little outside my area. I sometimes do go to him though, but anyway, he's an auctioneer from in between me and Mickey.
And he says he does better on Etsy?
That's what he said. I watched his video because he's talking about this ivory thing, how they tripped him up on that. And then he does go in a little bit how he thinks Etsy works better for him than eBay does. Anyway.
I tried Etsy and we never did.
Did we try it?
Yeah.
I don't even remember.
I mean, I guess it was a couple of years ago. I mean, it was worse than Bonanza and together.
Yeah, a lot of people say it works, but I haven't got the balls to try it yet.
I've always done better on eBay, but I've done well on Etsy in the past.
I mean, I'll always try it. What the hell?
He sells a lot of stuff like, let's say, higher end Fenton glass, higher end Roseville, higher end china and dishes, silver plate and sterling silver serving pieces. He sells like a lot of this turn of the century type china utensils, stuff like that. I mean, he sells a lot of very old stuff.
I don't know what that. Has anyone seen the new commercial for that? Has a freaking trigger warning cause help I've fallen, I can't get up, will send people to cry. I'm confused.
Send people to cry closets. What?
Has anyone seen the new commercial for the frickin' trigger warning cause? Oh, you mean like that thing, that lifeline that says, "Help me, I've fallen and I can't get up."
Yeah, that's Life Alert.
Or Life Alert or whatever.
Well, when you push the button, it tells it.
Well, it's like triggering people, and I don't know.
Well,
I guess.
I don't know. That's crazy. Yeah, I'm having a really difficult time with um, with Etsy.
Are you?
Well,
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing wrong.
Hmm.
I don't know what I'm doing wrong on the.
One of the biggest keys to Etsy is keywords. Lots and lots of keywords.
Right. And I have lots of
And
keywords.
your tags.
And I've got lots of tags.
Right.
And I get likes on a lot of my items, but it must. I'm thinking that it must be you gotta have volume. You gotta have volume on there.
It must be what?
That I need more volume.
I don't know. I've done pretty good on Etsy with only like 50 items. You know, I mean, just depends. I mean, yeah, obviously the more you list, the better you're gonna do probably. But
Yeah.
it's just the numbers. All this reselling stuff is all numbers game, you know.
Right.
But yeah, if I've had problems on Etsy, selling on Etsy, I usually do better on my keywords, and usually it ends up helping.
Okay.
I don't know
Well,
what.
and maybe
Do you do
I
any
don't know
of
any.
like the promoted listings or anything like that on there?
No, I never used anything like that. I don't think they
Okay.
have it, do they?
Yeah, they do.
Oh, they must have changed it. No, I've never used anything like that.
This guy I was talking about, and I don't know anything about Etsy. He has his auction company. He has an antique store, and his eBay store and his Etsy store are his antique store names. So I suppose he might be doing really good because he might have this like antique hound following that's specifically going to see what he has.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, it's a shame that you're having such a hard time with Etsy that you're not selling anything on Etsy because it's a nice platform.
Yeah,
It's really
it seems
come a
like
long
it's.
way.
I really like the platform itself. You know, the listing isn't difficult. You know, it's very easy to list on there. But yeah, it just I guess I just need to get on there and list more and put more. Like I've got some vintage games on there. Got vintage clothing for adults and for kids. Um, so I've got some jewelry on there. So I don't know. It just it's I try to put a variety of items on there. I probably just need to work on it more. I don't know. But
Maybe message Angie Martin or Tanya or one of them that are really big Etsy sellers and see if they'll look at your store and see if they have any suggestions. I don't know.
yeah.
I haven't. I used to be a lot bigger than I was on Etsy than I am now. I mean, now I just always forget about it.
Yeah.
But
I was just looking up it, and I don't know if you can look up solds on Etsy like you do eBay, but like this guy I was just talking about, he has 1,075 sales. So does that mean for the year, or does that mean lifetime since 2010? I don't
I
know.
think that's lifetime.
So that if that's the case, that doesn't seem like that many sales to me.
No. And it is, and you're never going to make the money on. Well, I mean, I guess Angie Martin and them do, but to me, general, I don't think you'll make the money like you do on eBay. But I don't
Yeah.
know.
I mean, yeah.
But it's a nice second platform, you know.
Right. Right. Frankie's Fine says, question Star Wars people. I have a Republic fighter tank, but not the remote for it. Should I sell it without the remote?
I don't think it will do that good without the remote.
You might see if you can find the remote and purchase it, and then
Yeah, I mean,
that
I think
might
it,
make the value of it go up a little more. Might
because
be
is
a
that the
little
one with the high track size? I think I just picked one up, and I wouldn't sell it anyway, but I looked it up out of curiosity, and I think without having the remote and having it working, that takes a real tank in the price on it.
Uh-huh. Wow, Mary, you're crazy. She said, I hit my 100 listing goal last night.
Nice.
And I had 4 sales last night and woke up to another 10 this morning.
Way to go.
Very, very, very good. Good job. That's a lot of listings to do in one night and one day.
Yeah, good job.
But kudos to you.
Yeah, very good job.
Yeah, Sherry says it seems Etsy sellers that do well are kind of in a niche, not general.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I would say this guy has a brick and mortar antique store. I was just kind of looking at his page. At the bottom of the page, he directs you to his regular website and stuff like that.
That's right, Mary. If you list, they will come.
Mm-hmm.
That is true.
When the person, who's the person that commented that said they listed all that stuff and now got a bunch of sales?
Mary, Grandma Magic Classics.
I was watching years ago. I was watching one of Golden Finger Picker's videos, and he was talking about when his wife would go through and tweak their listings, they would get sales. So I would do that. I would go through and I would just reduce things very small amount, and I would get sales. And I'm like, well, see, it's activity, and it's drawing it to my eBay thing or whatever. He's right, so I would do that. But looking back now, you know what? When you put more stuff, when you add inventory or you reduce your prices, you're going to get sales. You don't need an algorithm to make that happen. Somebody's just going to be searching those products, and the more lines you cast out, the more likely you are to hook somebody. And I think that's more what it is. It's just a sheer number. If you get more stuff out there, I mean, yeah, there's probably is some kind of algorithm boost, but I think it's more just the raw fact that you've got more stuff available that you're going to wind up with more buyers. It's just that simple.
Definitely.
I know when we switched from the Anchor store to the whatever they call it, the premium store or whatever, we reduced our listings, we immediately saw a drop in sales.
Right.
Even though the stuff we pulled I thought was just junk, it still reduced our. But when I brought our inventory back up, our sales got back up to normal. So you just gotta. It's if you can do it, if you can swing it, the more stuff you got out there, the better you're gonna do.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Julie does her design shirts on Etsy, doesn't she?
Yeah. Yeah, that's where she gets the majority of all her sales is on Etsy.
Wow.
And she does really well with events or holidays. If there's like Easter's coming up, I don't think Easter's really big for her, but whenever there's a holiday coming up, she does some basic like first birthday or stuff like that, but her main thing is the holidays.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go lay down for a bit and rest my hands. I'll talk to you guys later.
All right, feel better, Nikki.
All right, see you, Nikki. Feel better.
Have a good day, guys.
Yeah, I sold that tobacco urn.
Oh, did you?
Mm-hmm.
Good job. Very good.
It's not that bad. It's when the Russians were on our side of World War II.
Oh boy.
And Mary says she got big plans in the next 3 months. She's gonna get a handle on her inventory and clean the basement and list 1,000 more items in 3 months and get old stale inventory out the door.
There you go.
So I was going to ask you, Mary, are you keeping your anchor? store, or are you going to go down to premium? Or have you made this decision
I think
yet?
she's keeping it.
Yeah.
I think that's what she said last time.
definitely with the amount of listings that you are listing, I would think, that's probably a very good goal.
Did I hear somewhere somebody said that they're letting some of these people out of the Anchor store when they went to this good deal cancel thing?
Apparently, Grandma Magic Classic, she called them and they were going to let her go back down to the premium.
Oh wow!
And without without any fees. But she said she's keeping the Anchor store. She said she's at 2,100 listings right now, so that's awesome. And that's definitely something that I'm planning on doing. Also, is I'm gonna keep the Anchor. I find it, personally in my own business, I find that it does me better to keep the Anchor, even though it's more expensive. Number one, I get the $150. What do you call it?
Coupon for shipping.
For shipping, for shipping supplies. That's worth a lot to me. Yeah, they're not the best, things for shipping or whatever, but it's still, to me, it's like I'm paying $150 for the store rather than, which that's a quarter. So, I mean, you kind of have to even it out or whatever, but I feel like I'm in a better place if I'm, with my business, if I'm with the Anchor. It kind of gives me the opportunity to list more, and I'm not afraid to list.
Yeah.
She said,
I think it will also with us. I mean, you have that obligation every month that it's getting added to your invoice. It
Right.
makes you less likely to slack off. Where you feel like, wow, I gotta get my money's worth, so I gotta get this stuff up. So I think it is helpful that way too. It will keep your feet to the fire.
Right. Exactly. It'll keep you honest and keep you going after it. So that's that. I noticed that when I did go down to premium from Anchor, that I was, and it doesn't seem like it's a lot, 10 cents a listing. And you should never be afraid to list something. You should never be held back because you've ran out of listings. You should keep on going. But it did. I didn't think it would, but it actually did hinder the listing and trying to get things up. So I think it's more of like a psychological something. I just sold a swimsuit for $69.
Awesome. Well, spring break is around the corner.
Good job.
Sold Marigold. Valerie said, Valerie, can I please have some of your magic juju for today? Please, pretty please. Thanks, Karen. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. I think that was something that I got in, I want to say North Carolina. It was either North Carolina or it was in California, and I believe it was at the Benz. So even better. That's our phrase of the day. Good job. Good job, Sally.
Jesus Christ. Never gonna get away from that now.
Nope. 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 Do you want to
Good
get up
job,
here and show
Valerie.
yourself? Come here. Come on. Oh, you want to show your face?
Good morning, Mr. Ringo Head.
There he is.
Ringo Dingo Head.
He's a good boy. Oh.
He's got a real pretty head. Yeah.
What are you doing? No. Mary says, at this point, I've learned what I want to sell. When you first start, well, I did anyhow. Bought everything, then learned it doesn't sell well for me.
Yeah.
So I'm going to get rid of the crap that just doesn't sell. Exactly. Aww. There's Ringo Bear, huh? Yeah. Okay. Let's see what Elvis is doing. So, let's see. Morning, Elizabeth. Yeah, get old Ringo. I had the weirdest dream last night. And of course, it was about Walking Dead.
Oh, God.
I'm trying to remember it. I know it was, I was thinking about it this morning when I woke up and I was like, what a stupid dream. I can't remember now, but it's just one of those things that you wake up and you're like, what in the hell? Where did that come from?
Right.
Oh man, that Alpha, she is naughty.
Oh,
She's.
I'm not
yeah.
sure she ain't worse than Negan.
I know.
she is just
It's pretty damn close. That's what I say, anyways.
as they come. But I guess when you think about it, I mean, in that situation, in those times, I mean, it's like kill or be killed.
Yeah.
Truth be told, I mean, you just it's just I don't know. It would be hard to survive in something like that, I think.
I mean, but you have to see kind of their way too. Like that's how they've been surviving this whole time, and they see that it's the natural way or whatever because everybody eventually becomes walkers.
Mm-hmm.
So to them, that's the natural way.
Yeah. I'm not I couldn't wear dead people's skin on my face.
Oh,
Sorry.
me neither.
Oh my god, can you imagine all that smell and stuff? Ugh.
She had that nice fresh hairpiece.
Oh, that is so gross. That was so gross.
So now the new thing, if it's a really horrible person, you'll say it's like Negan and Alpha had a baby. Oh boy.
But they did say last night that the whole Negan thing, that ain't over yet.
Well, if you look at how the way the comic book goes, which I know they diverge a little bit from that, but Negan, yes, is gonna be like.
Well, they go to him for help or something, don't they?
Well, they change the storyline a little bit, so because like when he gets out, he runs into them, and then he says to Alpha, "Oh wow, I'm in love." And anyway, I'm not going to give away exactly what happens in the comic.
So they actually have a love child.
Yeah, but no. But then he's naughty. Then he's naughty too. But anyway, yeah, so it'll be interesting because they're actually making Negan more likable now. Now that he's in jail, and now he's getting likable.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say it's probably all in the plan.
Yeah.
I saw a rumor that what's Glenn's wife's name? I always forget it. Maggie. They're talking about having like a parallel show possibly with her. It's another spinoff like Fear the Walking Dead.
Oh really?
With her instead of the movie, because everybody thought she was going to wind up in the movie trilogy or whatever. But now it sounds like they're planning her for a spinoff.
Huh.
So that'll be weird. There'll be 3 different walking. I guess you'll have 365 Walking Dead, or 52 weeks a year you'll have Walking Dead episodes.
I mean, it's it's a good I mean, why not capitalize on that? You know,
Get it?
they know that, you know, they know that it's a good seller. You know, they know that people watch. They've got a good following, so you know, why not give the people what they want? I don't know. That'd be pretty crazy.
And
But
I know
I'm
that
not
Maggie's doing a cop show, or I think it's on ABC. She's
That-
doing some cop show, or some
right.
kind of like special, I don't know, like a CIA investigation, some show, some criminal show or whatever she's on
Right.
right
Just
now.
like an assassin, right? Or something, right? I
Something
don't
like
know.
that. Yeah, I saw the ads for it. I haven't watched it.
Yeah. I don't know. Pretty pretty interesting. All these shows are just kind of branching out. Oh, you like the owl? Yeah, that's pretty cool. Kind of my thing right now is
Oh.
owls. I don't know why, but nitty gritty picker. Where's Tom and Bridget? I don't know where Tom is. I know Bridget was she was gonna go. Her daughter was gonna be in town today, so she was gonna go hang out with her. She hadn't seen her for a while. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's missing. No Maggie, no Deborah, no Bridget, no Tom.
I guess we're just not. You know, we're just small potatoes.
Small potato.
Yeah.
More like hot potato.
You're a hot potato, Todd.
You haven't been
Yeah.
talking. What's going on with you, Todd?
I don't know.
Did you get done all your shipping?
Yeah, I got everything packed.
That's good. You said
I
you
hate.
sold those British buyers paid for their stuff, huh?
Yeah. Oh well.
Damn those British buyers if they'd have paid on time.
Damn Brits.
Now I know why we revolted against them. 'Cause they don't pay on time.
Sheesh.
Maggie says she's having technical difficulties. I'm sorry. Oh, that sucks. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just looking at all this other stuff I picked up during the weekend that I've got to sell.
Yep.
Got any more cat statues?
I was just gonna ask that. I was like, "Got more cats?"
I still got the ones I haven't sold yet. Yeah, I've
What
still
kind of
got.
cat statues?
They're called comic and curious cats. They're these sappy cat statues.
Oh, those do good. If you sell those though, Todd, definitely put them on auction because you don't know what they're going to go for. Yeah, I've come across those before. I'm glad I got to you in time before you made a bad mistake.
Oh boy.
Asshole.
Poor Todd. Still getting razzed about that. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it was a good lesson, you know.
Again.
If nothing else happened from that, you know, you got a good lesson. And
Well,
what is that Todd guy gonna learn? That guy, he's doing the
Well,
same
Todd,
thing bad over and over.
it could have been a lot worse. You could have passed on them thinking they were worthless, and then got home, looked them up on eBay, found out they were worth something, went back and found out somebody else had already bought them or whatever. Or how do you buy? I don't even know how you bought them. With auction?
That's
Like
true.
rummage sale, community
Oh,
rummage
okay.
sale.
Yeah, so you go back to the community rummage sale and they're gone after you find out they're valuable.
Hey, don't
That
feel
would be a
bad.
lot
Jim
worse.
made like the bonehead play of the month. I was gone away from him, and he let Negan buy this motorcycle helmet. He goes, "Well, did you see it?" And I'm like, "No." It's like, "Oh, I thought you looked at it, so I didn't bid on it." Negan bought it for like $5
No, $250.
and sold it for $275.
They bought it for
Yeah,
$2.
I make sure to remind him of that, like every night when we go to bed. Like, oh, that would have been nice. The electric bill would have been paid with that one or something. So.
Yeah, if I brush my hand across her cheek or touch the back of her head, she's quick to remind me of that, and I roll over and go to sleep.
At least your wife has an excuse.
Oh boy, careful, Todd.
Tread lightly.
Yeah, Gwen is
I
gonna
touched
kick your
Gwen,
ass.
and I'm like, yeah, never mind.
Oh.
No.
Hank says we shall not speak of this catastrophe again.
This catastrophe,
I did
yes.
tell. I went outside and I told Jim about it because I felt
Told me
bad.
about it. You wouldn't shut up about it. You talked to me about it for like 45 minutes an hour.
So Jim is like, yeah, if Todd was expecting like somebody in a fuck up, if he was expecting you to like rub his hand and tell him it was gonna be okay, he's talking to the wrong person.
Oh my gosh.
She felt really bad for you, Todd.
Yeah,
I
really
felt
right.
did.
bad.
I'm out there trying to work on
I
the
get
truck.
animated,
and
but
she-
actually I felt bad. There's part of me that felt bad. I felt a little like sinking in my stomach.
she keeps repeating
Yeah.
the story over and over. I'm like, okay, I got it.
After she whipped Jeff, she felt bad about it.
First she browbeat Todd, and then she comes out and browbeats me, and I didn't even have anything to do
And I
with
think
it.
I re-brought up the helmet with you.
Yeah, you did. Sometimes you got to move on.
I can't help
This is for Todd. And this is for you.
It's educational. How will
Yeah.
you know not to make this mistake again if I don't do this?
Right?
You sound like my
Bitch to
mom
be-
about when she was about to spank me.
This is going to hurt me more than it hurts you.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I've heard that too many times in my life.
Oh
man.
boy.
Our mom used to like cry when she would spank us
Yeah.
because it just literally hurt her heart.
Tore her up.
Yeah, it messed her up so bad.
Yeah, Jim's mom didn't cry.
Yeah, my mom used to say, "You better move your hand, or you're gonna have broken fingers too."
Oh my gosh.
Mom was
Yeah.
a hard ass with the wood spoon, and she delivered a whipping with that wood spoon.
Yeah, she was it was a maple stirring spoon, and man, she wielded it like a saber.
Damn.
Oh my gosh. So what's everybody got going on this week?
We gotta pack our moving truck. I gotta list some shit. Gotta pack some stuff. Gotta ship some stuff. Usual thing.
Are y'all going to Kentucky this week?
Well, next week is spring break, so Jim's gonna try to leave either Saturday or Sunday. I have to stay here because Monday I have a dentist appointment that I can't get out of. So I'll probably drive down then
And I have to fix your
Tuesday or
car.
Wednesday. And he's got to put a wheel bearing on my
And a
car
ball joint.
and a ball joint.
The car's making a weird noise in the
I
back.
told him about this
And
like
in the
a
front.
week ago.
Because I'm like, wow, it's making that noise in the front. I can't tell if it's in the front or the back. Well, it's making this clunky sound in the front. That's a bad ball joint. And that's making this grinding sound in the back. That's a bad wheel bearing, both on the passenger side. So I'm like, double whammy. So I got to get that. But I'm leaving. She's got an appointment. So, yeah, I'm leaving Saturday morning. But I got to have
Sunday,
her. I got to have her car ready to drive to Kentucky on Monday or on Tuesday. So I got to fix that before I leave.
Yeah. She got action packed.
Oh, yeah.
Week.
Always something.
Oh yeah, and he was fixing some stuff on the box trucks, but he's in auto repair mode right now.
Yep, the mink is going bye-bye.
All right.
Oh my God, I get these text messages and I do not hit that link. They keep going, oh, hey, Tara, it's India. I don't know anybody named India. I hope you like this. And then it has this line with this
It's
link
gonna
to
be
tap,
pornography.
and I will not tap
Yeah,
it
don't do
because
it.
I don't want it to screw up my phone.
Oh. Yeah, they take you to some dirty girl site.
And then here's, oh, Tara, a house to own for just $397 a month. Well, guess what? I own a house for $0 a month, so I'm not clicking your link.
Kiss
My
this,
house,
right?
my house is better than your house.
It's like when the DirecTV people come here, or the Dish Network. Oh, so you have DirecTV? We can make you a better deal. I'm like, well, I don't have to pay for my DirecTV. And they're like, how do you do that? I'm like, well, none of your business. Go away.
If I told you, I'd have to kill you.
What does it matter?
My husband does. He's a scientist.
My husband's the CEO.
Yeah. Get out of my yard.
That's right. Get off of my property. Get your old shotgun out. There you go. Sounds good. I got a lot of listing to do. I got a lot of moving of stuff around to do, and so I have 2 storage units, 2 5x10s, and yeah. Hopefully that'll go okay for me.
You got 2 storage units?
Well, I got the first one, and that was for my unlisted stuff, because I literally had a wall in my living room of boxes of the majority was clothing, that I gotten from North Carolina, from California, and so I put them all in boxes, but it was so snowy, icy, and everything that I couldn't get them to the storage unit until just like this last weekend. So yeah, I have that storage unit for my unlisted, and then I have another storage unit for my listed items that are kind of slow movers, like books and stuff I want to get some of that stuff out of my living space.
Well, just be careful you don't end up like Nikki with 3 storage units and letting other people put their crap in them and stuff.
No. These units are $18 a piece for a month.
Oh, wow.
So I figure I can spare $36 a month to get some of this chaos out of my house. I would put them in my garage, but my garage floods.
Yeah.
And so I don't want that stuff being, in with a bunch of moisture.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna,
Well, for $18 a month, I mean, that's amazingly cheap. I can't believe it. So
yeah. And I was actually really lucky to get 2 units, because usually she doesn't have anything available. So I figure it can't hurt, to do that. And it's not like I have to drive there, because it's like literally across the street. So
there you go.
I'm just gonna embrace it and utilize it and make it work.
Cool.
So, yeah. So that's what I'll be doing this week, besides listing and all that good stuff. So,
what's Tom up to today? Did you win any storage units?
No, they're getting ready to start again. I've been out running errands and got caught in traffic.
You look angry with your arms crossed like that.
Well, I'm happy as a damn lark.
Well, it don't sound like it when you say it that way.
Because I stopped at a Walmart that I don't normally stop at because it's over on the dodgy side of town. And for $50, I found about $400 in potential profit.
Oh, awesome. For Amazon or eBay?
For eBay. I'm not doing Amazon yet. I used
I thought you did FBA. I didn't know that.
no, I've never done FBA. I used to do merchant fulfilled,
Oh,
and then I quit doing it, and they canceled my account. So,
boy.
but I did get. They did say you were. If you decide to start selling with us again, you can sign up again. You know, it wasn't like I was being banned or anything.
Right.
Yeah.
So I'm slowly putting stuff back to do an FBA shipment, but I'm not going to do it right yet.
Yeah. Junk Girl wants to know if it's the east side or the west side that's dodgy.
It's kind of the northwest over in that area. And who said that?
Junk Girl 71. I'm assuming she's from North Carolina.
I don't have. Let me pull that.
She says, "Oh, okay." She knows. She's aware. She knows where you're talking about. Yeah, she's from Charlotte too.
Oh, is she? Cool.
That's what she said.
That's what she said?
That's what she said. That's good, Joanna. She said she just got done sharing her posh closet. You know, and this is something that I've found is, I don't know. I've been doing. Where did Sally go?
I don't know. Well, she did probably leave us.
Yeah, she just fell off or something. I don't know.
She doesn't like me anymore. She said, "I'm getting the hell out of here while that pig's on here."
But you know, I have 600. So I have 600 items in my active items in my posh closet, which is a lot. And it's hard for me to share that many in one setting. So basically, I just do like categories, like men's shirts, women's shirts, you know, and I'll do that. I try to do it every 2 hours. And sometimes that could be 50, sometimes that could be a couple of hundred. But I try, you know, it kind of breaks it up. So I'm still sharing, there's still activity, but I'm not spending an hour. I'd rather do like 10 minutes, you know, it's like the max that I want to sit here and do that. So, but yeah, definitely sharing your closet is a big, huge thing. You know, if you want sales, I do pretty good on Poshmark. I think I had six sales over there this weekend, which is good for the weekend.
I've got a bunch of clothes listed on eBay now that I gotta move over to Poshmark. Hopefully, I'm gonna get that done today.
Yeah, I got some cross posting to do and some more listing on eBay, and I got errands to run this morning and all that good stuff. It's gonna be a busy day, no doubt about it. Pretty much no different than any other day, though.
Sally lost power.
Oh, well, that sucks.
Sally, did you really lose power, or you just were ready to move on for the day?
Oh, Sally lost power. She wouldn't fib.
No. She, okay. Jenna says, "Oh, I agree. I don't like to spend more than 15 or 20 minutes unless I hit them all." Yeah.
Good morning.
Deborah made it.
I made it. Oh,
You
I was
made
so
it.
tired. I was nodding off early this morning. I was like, I need to go back to bed. And then I sold a necklace and I couldn't find the damn thing. And I finally found it. I thought I was going to have a coronary.
Oh my gosh.
Boy, well, don't do that.
Yeah, I gotta go search. That's another thing I gotta do today.
And
Search for
then
that
And then I couldn't get to sleep last night because I stayed up till 12 because I missed the first Walking Dead.
Oh
Like I
God.
messaged you that, Valerie, because you said, "Did you watch it?" And because I was out, so then I saw the very beginning of the Talking Dead. I knew, and I was like, I can't watch this because it's going to give me spoilers. So I had to wait till it was over, and then I stayed up and watched it. And after I watched it, I was like, "Oh my God!" And I couldn't go to bed. Wow, I did not see any of that coming.
Me neither. Me neither.
It is a big thing in the comic book. They call it the Pike episode. It is a big thing in the comic book too.
It was I did not feel good afterwards. I mean, I felt, and they weren't, the situation, well, I don't want to divulge it. It just made me, I was surprised at myself. I'm like, why do I feel so lousy? I'm like, oh my God, it was because of that episode. It made me feel kind of not very, I felt like there's something bothering you. You don't know what it is. I had that like for an hour after I watched it.
I had that feeling with Todd yesterday.
There were two people, and I'm not going to say who, but what happened last night that I got teary-eyed because I really like the one character who's been there for a while.
Yeah.
And then the other character, and I was like, you gotta be freaking kidding me.
Yeah.
Oh my God, did that guy die?
No. No.
You know, the guy always dies.
But usually it's like one main character, and it was like a whole bunch of them. I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
If you haven't watched it,
that's all I'm saying. I'm sorry. Yes.
You can't tell what this does, can you? I cannot.
But
you know,
think the parts were cozy, but
it started pushing my attention span.
Incorporated.
Glow on. How do you spell that? Like it sounds.
GLOW, gorgeous ladies.
What time?
It started pushing my attention span.
Okay.
When they got to
critter, you're so cozy.
the end of the railroad where the cannibals were at,
Yeah.
it started pushing my attention span then. And then it slowly went down and down and down. And by the time they got to Virginia, I about had enough of it.
Yeah.
They just kept making such stupid ass mistakes, and you know.
Oh, that was back with Terminus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tracks. Yeah, that
Well,
was.
I will say, like last night, and this doesn't give anything away. When they're tracking that trail, and the trail splits 3 ways, I'm like, get the hell out of there! What are you doing?
Yeah.
I know.
You can't see this as it's a trap, idiots! It's a trap.
It's like a horror movie. Don't open the closet.
Just go. It's getting dark. It's getting dark. Just get the frick out of
And
there.
they must have said like 5 times in that episode, we better split up. They keep splitting up into smaller and smaller, easier to catch groups. It's like a bad Scooby-Doo episode. You know, in Scooby-Doo, they'd always split it up into 3 groups and they'd always get in trouble.
Yeah, and then they'd be getting captured and shit.
Yeah, it's like the gang stays together. Strike the number.
It's like that commercial that were making fun of horror movies, and I don't even remember what they were selling. But there's like this bunch of young 20-year-olds coming through a farm, and one of them says, "Hey, there's a car with the lights on. Let's go." And the other one say, "No, there's a barn." And so they go into the barn.
No, he goes, "Yeah, let's go run for the barn that's full of chainsaws because there's chainsaws hanging all over the sides of it."
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But Walking Dead it was really interesting in the beginning of it, the front end of it. But after a while, it got to be the same old stuff over and over and over again.
Yeah, but when you really watch it and you watch it for a while, you become a fan. So it's like it doesn't matter like what happens, you're still going to be a fan. It's like there's certain people like they love Adam Sandler, but they hate him. So it's like you got to be a really good fan in order to say, "Oh, his movie was great," when, you know, somebody who can't stand him is like, "That was stupid."
I was a big fan until they let the damn van roll into the daggum pond because they were looking for more crap instead of taking that van full of stuff they had back to the compound. So so Michonne could have
yes,
could have her dental floss, you know, because she's all about dental hygiene. See, I do pay attention. After that, I'm like, and then they take the pregnant woman on a, you know, they're going to go hit that radio station or whatnot. They take a pregnant woman with them. I'm like, who the hell's running this show? And about that time is when I quit watching it.
Yeah.
Because, you know, I know Jesus has got power, but dang.
I have to second guess that now. I'm just kidding.
Well, you know,
Yeah.
hey,
According to The Walking Dead, Valerie knows what I mean.
Yeah.
There's no power
Absolutely.
there anymore.
Mm.
I mean, I just really, it just kind of like, I got bored. I'm thinking, oh my God, this is going to be another Friends. You know, they're going to be running from, the walkers are going to be dragging their bodies along, and all the cast is going to be in down either with walkers or wheelchairs trying to get away from them because they're never going to put this thing to bed.
Well, and when
No,
people
I
tell
don't
you
want
to,
I don't want him to put it to bed.
Oh,
No, I want it to keep going. We're in the
it's going downhill fast.
Whatever, Tom. You're
and when they tell like these people to drop their weapons, I'm always like, don't drop your weapons. You're gonna die anyway. You might as well kill some of them with you.
That's
the last
right,
thing I'm
that's
gonna do
right.
is drop my freaking weapon.
Yep.
You'll take my
Okay.
weapon from my cold dead hand.
I'm telling you, children. I'm telling you, children. Listen up to Sweet Daddy.
Oh gosh.
If you're standing with a loaded weapon in your hand and somebody's approaching you and you tell them stop or I'm going to shoot, if they end up killing you, you deserve to die.
Oh my
boy.
gosh.
If you tell them to stop and they don't stop, then you put a bullet in them. Period. Remember, and I'm going to refer back to the episode where the Asian boy was at the pharmacy and Daryl's brother comes up, and he's got the blade on the end of his hand because his hand was cut off.
Right.
Okay, and the Asian boy, whatever his name was, said, "Stop."
Glenn and
Glenn,
Daryl's brother's name was
Stay back, stay back, stay back. And he kept walking forward and forward and forward. You put a bullet in him and he's going to stop.
I can't find one.
Okay, my Walking Dead rant is over with. Children, remember that. That crap won't happen in Texas and North and South Carolina. Somebody's going to die.
Yeah.
I do have to say, without giving away too much, because I don't think this really will, but the one fight scene where, Tara, you were saying how, drop your weapons. When they, right before that, when they took out the walkers, I had this flashback, the way the fight scene was going, to when they were in Alexandria that time, where, like, they had, it was, like, really weird. It was, like, almost comic book strippy-like.
Right.
They were sitting there. You remember that, right, Valerie?
Yeah.
I was just like, oh my God, they're doing it again.
Yeah. Yeah, it was pretty crazy.
And I kept thinking, Michonne could take out all those walkers by herself.
Yeah.
She's done that quite a few
She
times.
does that all the time when I'm playing the dang game.
I know.
She's slicing and dicing.
I picked up my boys at the bus stop, and as I was sitting there, there's like, okay, let's go. And I said, no, I got to finish killing these walkers. And then I started to set my phone down on the console of the car, and I said, oh shit, there's some over here. So I put it here and ran across the parking lot to another spot and killed some more.
Tom, are you in our group though?
I don't know if I'm in any groups, to be honest with you. I don't know.
Okay, I'll put the link up later, and you just click through it, right, Valerie? You just click through it and join. Is that how?
That's all you gotta do.
Yeah.
Inside the game, or
Yeah. No, I'm gonna put a link in our messenger chat later.
okay.
Yeah.
And you just click on that.
That's one weapon that I would definitely want to have is a katana, because I mean you have the distance. You know, you're not you can be quite a ways away from them.
Yeah, you won't get scratched.
You know, you won't get, they can't. I mean, I guess it could grab you, but I don't know. Yeah, that would be one of my
And you know
one of
what?
my weapons of.
You know what is sad? I've heard people talking about this show and other shows, and they're like, mankind would not be that like that. Oh hell yes, they will be like that. They will tear a city apart, looting it. When when there is food, water, and all that electricity and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Remember when like people were buying a lot of silver in case like the economy fell apart? Jim had some people he knew at Masons that were doing that. And I'd always say, yeah, you're not gonna be buying bread with silver dimes. It's gonna be who has the most guns and bullets in that situation.
Yeah, or liquor. I'll tell you, when the economy got really bad, and we don't even drink, I must have had 50 pints of vodka around here. And
yeah,
some bourbon.
Russian collusion.
Yep.
He adopted those Russians.
No, actually, this vodka came from North Carolina because we have
Why
a vodka.
did you have? Okay, now I gotta ask. Why would you have all this vodka? Were you stocking up?
Well, that's what all they say is that you have a lot of liquor on hand because you can barter with it.
Yeah.
And you can start fires with it, and you get drunk off of it. If somebody has to have an arm removed, you can get them plastered. And
yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, that's like medical stuff there.
Yeah.
You know what? And this is gonna sound mean because I would never be mean to you, Tom. But if you said, "Oh yeah, can I barter with my liquor?" I would like say, "I have bullets, so you can just give me your liquor."
And I'd say, "See the bitch over yonder, standing beside that tree." She got her finger on a red button. She's getting ready to take us all out.
You better be nice to.
Me and my boys are going to take your bullets after your dead hands.
You better be nice to
Brandon and Jim would be up in the trees.
Yep. My best friend and I, we went out to dinner one night, and before we finished with our wives, and before we finished dinner, we had a fort built. Not physically, but in our mind. We knew what kind of storage we wanted, weapons, because he's all about weapons.
Oh, boy.
See, you better be nice to Tara, Tom, because she's probably going to have, her and Jim and Brandon are going to have all the horses, and you'll have nothing.
Horses and guns.
We'll have a castle.
Because you could eat a horse if you have to.
Yeah.
Sure.
And you don't run out of gas with it.
I told Roberta the other day, I said, when we build another house, we were watching something, and it was supposed to be like a documentary type thing about the fall of what would happen after if we had a massive power outage, that kind of stuff. And
like Y2K.
Yeah. And I said, you know what, our next house, we just need to go ahead and build a castle. And she said, why? I said, well, we could let people get married there, and the SCA, we could come in, we could rent it out to them. And she said, our house? I said, honey, it's not about the house. It's about it's in the sub basement.
Oh my God.
I have 8-foot walls and that kind of stuff. And I say 8 foot, I'm talking about thickness. She said, okay, you get some plans together and get back to me on it.
Yeah, Jim and Brandon want to build the bunker. They want to build a bunker in our hill behind our house.
Well, why don't you?
That's cool.
Yeah.
In our spare time. Because I got a whole bunch of other stuff that's more important to build right now than a bunker.
Yeah. That'd be a good little project for them to do.
Get them out of my hair for a couple days.
There you go. Yeah.
For my son.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Jim Brandon really wants a bunker.
There's a guy on YouTube that builds them down. I think they're down in Florida.
They have them in that city that we live in. They're It's plastic with steps going down to it into it. It kind of looks like a plastic septic tank. They put it in the ground and it's like a storm shelter or whatever. But yeah, they sell them like 10 minutes from my house down there.
Wow.
Well, the one I watched, these things were like $250,000 installed. That's not including land. That's just installed.
Yeah.
It was like metal boxes, not like the containers, but where they actually fabricated it. And they because of the doorway that goes down into it is usually exposed. They were they built one and they were like shooting at it with all kinds of different weapons and plastic and all this other stuff. They were trying to see if it would get in. You could get into it. Good cutting torch with though.
Crazy.
But that Walking Dead.
Yeah, I love it.
Well, I'd rather watch that than Game of Thrones. I think I watched the first season of Game of Thrones, and then I was like, nah.
I tried to watch Game of Thrones, and I just couldn't get into it. I tried to like force myself to watch it, and I would like fall asleep during it. It didn't catch me. I like Vikings a lot better than
Vikings was good. I liked Vikings.
Vikings doesn't have like dragons.
Well, I mean, I can live with dragons. I have nothing against dragons. It's just, I don't know, the story just moved slow for me. It just didn't catch me.
I'm a big fan of Sean Bean. And it's like after the first season when he died, I was like, yeah, I don't want to watch this anymore.
Yeah.
If you go and look on YouTube, Sean Bean's death, he dies in almost every movie. Every movie he dies. Yeah. Oh, he dies in like 10 almost. I think he has been alive in 2 movies. All the rest of them, he's died. Because he was in Lord of the Rings.
Right.
And just everyone just died.
Oh, yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. He was in another movie recently where he died.
Yeah. That's all
it's like, was it a Viking movie or medieval type thing?
Yeah, it was a I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, but it's like I just saw it like in the last year.
Yeah, if you go on YouTube and just look for that, you'll see several people have Sean Bean's death scenes, and it's just funny because someone has them like really short, like when he's dying, and that's all you see is just him dying over and over again.
Oh. Oh, if you want to see a good movie on Netflix, which just is kind of off topic compared to what we're talking about, that Dirt movie, it's about how Motley Crue came together. Actually, it's a really good movie.
I started watching that. I have to finish it. Yeah.
I've seen it advertised, and that was one of my...
I watched it before I went to bed the other night. It was really good.
Huh.
I usually like to look for the music documentaries and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I had watched, it was right before Tom Petty died. They had a Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers documentary, and it was really good.
Tom Petty. He's a singer.
Yeah.
He was.
Yeah, he was.
Oh. Well, guys, I think I'm going to go ahead and wrap it up for today. I hope everybody has a great day. Here's just some juju.
Juju! Get that juju!
There's a little bit.
Sounds like Deb had plenty of juju over the weekend.
Just little.
That was juice.
Just a little taste. Hope that does the trick.
Thank you, Valerie.
All right. You're welcome. And I hope you guys have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yeah,
Bye. Have a good day.
Bye, guys.
Au revoir.